As Washington hurries arms and ammunition to Ukraine for a planned counteroffensive against Russian forces, Washington is looking to secure supplies of TNT in Japan for 155mm artillery shells. Any purchase for pacifist Japan might raise difficulty because export laws prohibit Japanese businesses from selling deadly goods abroad, such the howitzer shells fired every day by Ukraine at Russian soldiers occupying its southeastern areas. Despite the weapons shortages around the world, the Allies seem to have found a solution to allow the sale of TNT, according to two persons with knowledge of the situation, as reported by the Reuters news agency. According to one of the people with knowledge of the negotiations in Japan, there is a way for the United States to buy explosives from Japan, they told Reuters under the condition of anonymity due to the sensitivity of the subject. Export controls on dual-use goods and equipment that are offered for sale commercially are less onerous than those on goods with only a military function. According to the other source, Tokyo, which hosted U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin this week, has informed the U.S. administration that it will permit the sale of industrial TNT because the explosive is not a product reserved for military purposes. To send explosives to U.S. Army-owned munitions companies that would pack them into 155mm shell cases, the U.S. intends to include a Japanese company in a TNT supply chain, the source continued. The Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Economy of Japan declined to confirm whether any Japanese businesses had contacted it regarding the shipment of TNT. It further explained in an email that products not covered by military limitations will be evaluated in accordance with standard export regulations that take the buyer's intentions into account, including whether their usage would compromise global security. The Acquisition, Technology and Logistics Agency of the Japanese Defense Ministry declined to comment. The U.S. State Department said it was working with allies and partners to provide Ukraine with the support it needs to defend itself but did not directly respond to Reuters' questions on whether the U.S. intended to purchase TNT in Japan. In response to Russia's all-out invasion of Ukraine, Japan has already placed sanctions on it and supplied non-lethal aid in the form of food rations and body armor. Following President Volodymyr Zelenskyy of the Ukraine's visit to Japan last month during the G7 conference in Hiroshima, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida of Japan promised to give trucks and jeeps. Kishida wants to support Ukraine because his government worries that a Russian win would give China the green light to attack the self-governing island of Taiwan and drag his nation into a regional conflict. He issued a warning that Ukraine would become East Asia tomorrow, the previous year, and his administration declared Japan's largest post-World War II military buildup. According to Sunio Watanabe, a senior fellow at the Sasakawa Peace Foundation, there appears to be rising consensus in Japan over providing military assistance to Ukraine, although the level of lethality is debatable. The decision by Japan to donate vehicles to Ukraine demonstrates that times are changing. On the topic of sending lethal help, there doesn't currently seem to be any political agreement, he added. One of the several partners that Washington is requesting to assist Ukraine in arming as it struggles with constrained military supply channels is Japan. The U.S. has contacted a number of countries, including South Korea, which also employs 155mm rounds. According to a South Korean defense official who spoke to Reuters, Seoul's position against giving Kyiv lethal assistance has not altered. In response to a question this week in Tokyo regarding the potential for a change in Japanese policy regarding lethal assistance, Austin stated at a news conference that any such change would be up to Japan, but added that any bit of support for Ukraine was always welcome. The individuals who talked with Reuters refused to disclose the name of the Japanese firm that would provide explosives to the U.S. government and remained mum on the quantity of TNT Washington wished to purchase. On the website of the Japan Explosives Industry Association, Reuters contacted 22 manufacturers of explosives. Only Chugoku Kayaku, a Hiroshima-based company that supplies Japan's military, claims to produce industrial TNT. The company stated in an email that it had not received any direct inquiries from the U.S. government or military. The company, which has an industrial TNT product listed on its website, was asked if it was discussing any TNT sales through an intermediary. The company responded that it did not reveal the names of customers or potential buyers.